Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today is devoted to purple bombs, what they are, and we have a really fascinating guest, a mystery guest, one of our very own Mystic Michaela spiritual family members who's going to give us a deep dive into her own purple bomb story. They're very embarrassing, these purple bomb stories, but if you're purple, you've done it. And so I'm really excited that she came on and she's going to no holds barred. She is going to go into every moment of her purple bomb story.
Okay.
But first, hey, Scott.
Well, and we know there has to be something wrong with her.
Why?
Because she actually agreed to let me ask questions during the interview.
Yeah, and she's coming. She's going to be here. She's coming over.
Right.
So she's going to be here.
She's going to be here.
I guess we don't socially distance with everybody anymore.
Well, I'm gonna ask her to wear a mask.
I'm not.
You're not?
I feel like this microphone is a good mask.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Filters germs.
We'll see when she gets here. I have a few tests I want to run before I let her in the door.
Do you check temperature?
I will be checking temperature. Yes. So she will get a temperature check.
Right.
She will have a mask on. This is between me and you.
Ooh.
She doesn't know this.
Okay.
But we ran out. We have those. They have the temperature check. I just was at the dermatologist today. That's a whole other story. I'll get into that in a second. Where they just put the thing up to your head. They don't even touch your head.
No, it's great.
Ours is broken of those. I bought one. It broke.
Yeah.
So what she doesn't know is the only other way is this rectal one I have.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Scott.
So she's going to have that.
Super creepy.
She doesn't know this, but I'll let her know. All right. But anyway, speaking of one of the last interviews that you actually let me interview somebody was Brett, the hypnotist.
Yes.
And it was an amazing experience. And when she came and, we knew we were going to do I was going to get hypnotized, you guys told me to set it like an intention sort of what I wanted to get done. And my first intention was to have this white coat syndrome, fear of the doctor.
Yes.
I'm terrified.
Your blood pressure goes up when you're at the doctor's office.
Right. And so that was my original intention. And but then we switched it to the other intention, which was to...
Well, what happened was during her hypnotherapy session with you went right into it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
The episode's entitled Demystifying Hypnotherapy, if you want to check it out. It's one of our earlier episodes. You went right into the hypnotherapy
but it was for something totally different.
And then you were like, I can't work at my job anymore. And that's what it became about. And she said, the subconscious is funny. It chooses what your issues are and what you can deal with it. You can't deal with, the white coat syndrome, she said, until you deal with, whatever your subconscious deems the most presently important.
Right. And she solved that problem. I'm fixed. I'm on to this new... total career 100%.
She did. You gave your notice that day.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
I am done, finished there. It's all over.
Hypnotherapy works with
Now we
Brett.
just got to get the kids back to school, and life is amazing. But here's the other problem. What I didn't realize was today was the first time I went to the doctor since that session.
Yes, it's true.
And the original thing was to cure me of this thing. So, of course, I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And I realized I got to go to the dermatologist.
Yeah.
Just for a checkup. No, nothing. And by the way, nothing happened. Don't worry about anybody. I'm totally fine. And, the first sign that I know I'm going to the doctor in the morning is, and it's everything, I don't know if I go there because a lot of people on this podcast see me as a sex symbol. And I don't want to really ruin the image for them of, their possible sex symbol having constipation or something like that.
Right.
But I would never have that. Because if I ever, and I'd never been constipated, I don't think, but I would never have that problem.
That's a lot of information.
She has a lot of TMI. And again, I don't want to ruin for people. I'm ruining their image. I know it.
What you're trying to say is before a doctor's appointment, you basically get the runs.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
Without fail. So what I'm saying is I'll never ever have that problem because all you have to do is say, hey, Scott, I made you a doctor's appointment, and out it'll go.
That's it. You just in the bathroom.
Right. So I'll never need the over-the-counter drugs or whatever.
Softly moaning.
Yeah.
That's you. This morning.
So that's the telltale side. So I get up. Obviously that happens. I also have to, do number one 50 times. I don't know why. I've never been to a doctor where I haven't been able to could I please use your bathroom?
Did you do that at the
derm? Yes. I'm they first so I get in there.
They don't want you touching anything these days,
No, but I know.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I do have a new trick. I don't know if I even told you about this one.
No, this is new.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. I'm bracing myself.
So I listened to on the ride over to the doctor I think it's called like binaural beats or something. It's like the blood pressure beats.
Yes.
And that actually works. So
did you really? That's
the only thing is
cool.
I could possibly also pass out on driving.
You get real zen when you listen to it.
Yeah, you get real zen.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to make this turn now. but it's like, I'm just like one of the other drivers around here, like the 90-year-old driver.
Oh, yeah.
So
People
I fit
watch out for you around here when you drive.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I listen to the binaural beat thing for the blood pressure. So I get in, they do the temperature check. And, they don't have the music anymore, so I'm starting to freak out. I should bring headphones with.
Yes.
Maybe I should do that next time.
Yep.
And then I get in, they tell me, could you take everything off?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was for the checkup or.
Because you're that sex symbol.
Yeah, that's it. I wasn't sure. But I'm like, can I please go to the bathroom before? And she's like, of course.
You asked like a little first grader, like, please.
Yeah, I'm like, I turn into like a first grader. That's
you're
right.
Like, can I please go to the bathroom, miss?
Like, thank you, miss. Can I have a cup of milk? So. So I still have this problem. I still have the white coach room. The lady was, very nice. The doctor was very nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was an easy checkup, and I was out of there in, 10, 15 minutes.
Luckily, they don't take your blood pressure there.
No,
that's the problem when you go to these doctor's offices, because when they do the, what do they call those? The, oh my gosh.
The blood pressure cuff.
The blood pressure cuff.
Yeah, I can't
The
do
vitals.
that.
The vitals.
Yeah.
What they do is, like, your blood pressure is usually, like, 190 over, like, I don't know, so, like, 100 something. And they're like, oh, my God, sir.
Like, are you?
Like, oh, my God. And then like, they get really stressed out. Like, you stress out the medical help person because they're like, oh, my God, I've never seen one this high. And then you see them, like, shuffle out, and then the doctor kind of comes in. And it makes your blood pressure go up more.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay.
Right. Like, they would be like,
does it hurt, sir?
Are
do you want to lay down?
Yeah, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But actually, I only do it with the doctor now. So I've told them at the doctor.
Really? Oh, okay.
That I will only do it with the
That's
doctor.
good, because you've been stressed. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Oh,
now,
poor Scotty.
So anyway, but we're going to have to, now that I got the big problem solved.
Yes.
I want to get Brett back here.
Yeah.
And have her solve my other problem.
You need to work on
so that when I go to the doctor, syndrome. I'm fine. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help when and by the way, we're very thankful to everybody being so sweet. Brianna came on last week.
Yes.
Our 11-year-old who has the gift of seeing auras and is getting kind of a psychic, understanding the psychic gifts behind that and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Like, she loved being on, and everybody was so sweet and positive to her. But anyways, the reason why you went to the dermatologist because your shirt was off one day to like go swimming or something, and she was like, "Oh, what's that?" Because we didn't get into this part with Brie. She's like a very blunt psychic reader, so she's just like extremely blunt, which is scary. Right. So you took off your shirt and you had this mole, and she's like, "What's that?" And then you were like, "Why is that bad?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't like how that looks." And then she just like walks away, and then we're like, you better make an appointment. But it's good that you're okay.
Yeah, because I want to keep my sex symbol status. They have like this can spray of like ice spray or something.
Yeah, it's like
I just had them spray it off.
Nitrogen,
like, we'll just spray that off for you.
Yeah, it's gone now.
And since I'm like a first grader, I'm like, oh, would it cost anything? What's it cost? Like, oh, for you nothing.
For you nothing.
I'm such a kid that they're like, oh, for you nothing. I'm like, oh, thank you, doctor.
Oh, I'm glad they treated you nice at the derm clinic.
They really did.
That's like a nice doctor's appointment to go. I love the derm. They make me look better there. Yeah. They're focused on prettiness and stuff. Yeah. I like that. It's less stressful.
It was an interesting experience. I mean, it was just me with just a mask on.
Like nothing else?
No, just a mask. Picture that, people.
Stop it. All right. Visualize.
Well, let's give them a better visual. Megan Fox.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so most people would rather look at her, I assume.
Megan Fox was with her new boyfriend, Machine Gun Kelly, on Lala Kent's new...
Wait, what's this guy's name?
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly?
I never heard of him before Megan Fox started dating him, but apparently he's famous.
Is he related to like Handgun Kelly? Rifle Kelly?
Yep, those are his cousins. Yeah, okay. So anyway, she's with him, and it made the news, and she was on Lala Kent's new podcast, but we'll back it up a little bit.
Okay.
Megan Fox has a rainbow aura, and because I'm such an aura geek, like I could look at her all day and it would be real creepy because her aura is so rainbow, and it really pulls me, and it's very mesmerizing. And I did back in May, I did a reading on her because she was in the news, and I was like, oh my gosh, like she's a rainbow aura, and nobody does, and it means she's a starseed. And so starseeds, the way I see it is like rainbow aura people are starseeds. And what's a starseed? Starseed is somebody who's, it's like with starseeds, it's like they've been on Earth a few times, but they've had more lifetimes as not humans. So like other life form, energies come into humans. So and if you follow Megan, and I didn't know this until after I did the reading, like, because a lot of people they were starting to send me like little videos she did or little like alien stuff she was into or whatever, where she would comment, because she's super into the psychic world. And my thing is, it's like starseeds always know. They always know that they're starseeds. They always feel more connected to, aliens or other life forms or the psychic world from a very early age. And just, they always kind of feel like otherworldly. But anyway, so she's a rainbow aura. And what's interesting about starseeds, when I see they have rainbow auras, is they'll go through like spiritual download moments more than other people. So like out of nowhere, like one day they'll just get like blasted with a ton of new information from the other life source. So so it's like a download. Like if you were going to like, upgrade yourself and like, you put your phone down, you do the upgrade, and then it's like, it does all these cool new things, like, 10 minutes later. That's what starseeds go through. They go through very like crazy, big, drastic downloads in short amounts of time. And I felt that Machine Gun Kelly, who's green and purple, has like, that's a symptom of her spiritual download. So anyways, we'll fast forward.
Okay.
So I did a reading about them back in May on my Instagram, and it was fun. It was fun to do it. But anyways, I guess her and her new boyfriend, which she left her husband for, were on Lala Kent's new podcast. And
so is this like purple bombing?
So she left. So, and she basically on the podcast said this thing like, the moment I met Machine Gun Kelly, I knew we were twin flames. We were two souls, we're one soul split in half, and we found each other.
Right.
And the second I saw him, now the second she saw him, she was married. Okay. So it's kind of like, and here's the thing, like, I don't judge a purple bomb because I'm purple, right? So like purple people, and this is what this episode is dedicated to. If you're purple, you purple bomb it. Now she's a starseed, but starseeds can't always like live their life as a starseed and exist happily on this earth plane. So she presents as purple.
Okay.
So usually like starseeds will wear like an aura color so they can fit in, like a little costume
so
or
she
something.
Wears purple.
She wears like an aura costume. It's like her purple. So she'll do purple things. Like, she's in acting and, the industry and stuff like that. But like Elon Musk, he's not a starseed, but he wants to be. Like, remember we talked about that?
Yes.
And then like, who is a starseed? Like Tom Cruise. Keanu Reeves is like a crystal aura, but he presents as like a green kind of a thing. But like that. So anyways, so back to Megan. So basically she talked about a purple bomb situation and just seeing this guy and just like she flipped her whole life over for him, which is very purple bomb. And I can see this, and I'm going to talk about this in my speech about purple bombs. But yeah, and so it made all the headlines and all the news that she said we're twin flames. And this is just, and the difference between twin flames and soulmates, and this is what we are. And everyone's freaking out. They're freaking out.
But here's the bad news for Megan and Shotgun Kelly.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. Handgun Kelly.
Right. Annie, get your gun.
Annie, get your gun.
You're going to just make all of them.
Right. Colt 45 Kelly. So as most Mystic Michaela spiritual family members know,
right,
twin flames don't usually work out.
They don't usually work out.
So
I don't know if they're going to work out, honestly.
I don't know.
These are my feelings. This is how I see it. But I feel like they were supposed to meet, and it's a symptom of her spiritual download, and she needed a change. And sometimes when you meet your twin flame, every time you meet your twin flame, you're going through some sort of catalyst in life, and that person is part of that. So twin flames show up when you're growing or you're going through something, and because they kind of rock your world and they make everything make no sense and all the sense, and it's like very emotional. It's a lot of ups and downs. So we'll see what happens with them. I feel like, I agree with her with the twin flame thing because they gave me this like twin flame stress,
twin flame vibe.
Right? Yeah, they make I don't know, like when you look at them, it's kind of like interesting and you can't look away. It's kind of like a car crash. You're like, I can't look away, but why am I looking? Like that's kind of like the twin flame thing. And, we'll see. You know, usually love that lasts isn't quite like that, but we'll see.
Now, what about the, you said they were on La La Land's podcast.
Lala Kent's new podcast.
And I remember one time I had to watch Vanderpump Rules for the show.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, I didn't know who anybody was. And I actually thought that the other guy, I think you said is Randall.
Randall is her boyfriend.
Yeah,
her husband?
Thought it was,
husband?
Yeah, I thought it was her dad.
I know.
So are they twin flames too or no?
No.
Are they anything? Or?
I think, I feel like he protects her, and I feel like she protects him in some way. She's indigo and purple. He's more red and blue.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because I don't know the guy, but.
He's like red and blue.
Usually I relate more to the red blues.
Yeah, he's got some purple elements in there. He's kind of like a salesman, kind of like he's in the industry, and that can kind of sour you a little bit. I feel like he wears a lot of inauthentic purple.
Okay.
But I think they work for each other right now. Okay. I don't know. I get more of just like they're together. You don't have to be with your soulmate for it to work. Like you can be with somebody you just get along with, and it works
as long as he's not a relative.
Right.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. Now let's go back. Let's go back to that. So you look at Megan Fox's picture all day.
Some people, this about me. Like some people have such a crazy aura. I can't look away.
We'll have to try to get her on the show, but we might have to give her the bad news that this is going to break.
I don't think she'd want to hear it.
Yeah, she's not ready to hear it.
She doesn't want to hear it. When you're with your twin flame and everything's going great, or like it's at least just going, or it's just like amazing, it's better than any drug you could think of.
Right.
That's the problem with being with a twin flame.
But here's the catch. Like you said earlier, she's going to have that download come one day. You know, and that's going to probably reset things.
Yeah, we'll see.
And sawed-off shotgun is going to be out of bullets. So, all right.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But they are interesting, and I think like her forwardness, like how forward she was, and we're like, weren't you married when you saw him for the first time, is very indicative of a purple bomb thing to say. Like doing it first, like just leaving your husband, okay, fine, and go like obviously things were building up to that or whatnot anyhow, but like then saying it, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that caused a lot of people to be like, what are you doing? But that's her truth. She's saying it, and like I'll talk about, you can't judge the purple bomb.
Right. Well, speaking of not purple bombs, we
Yeah.
had this incredible dinner last night that you made for us.
And I'm going to go into my spiel about purple bombs and stuff like this, but first we have to talk about last night's dinner.
Fantastic.
So, Sunbasket is pretty cool. Last night we had really good meal. We had Korean barbecue chicken in lettuce cups with kimchi. I could be saying that completely wrong. Kimchi?
Sounds right to me.
And we learned what kimchi is, which is optional. You don't have to have it in there. But it was good. Did you like it? Because you're picky.
Yeah, I'm picky, but the Korean barbecue chicken was amazing.
It was so good, right?
It was incredible. Yeah,
I know.
It was perfect. I mean, it's not something I would normally eat. I'm more like, just your regular hamburger and pizza kind of guy. So it was a really welcome change. And I actually really, it was an incredible meal. I enjoyed it immensely.
So it came, and I'll show pictures. It came in this box, this refrigerated box. We got three different meals, and it's like clean ingredients. It's organic, fresh produce. And they Sunbasket delivers these fresh, healthy, delicious meals straight to your door. And they have recipes for all kinds of dietary preferences, including paleo, gluten-free, Mediterranean, vegetarian, and more. They make it super easy, super convenient, with everything pre-portioned and ready to prep and cook. So you can enjoy a full organic, fresh produce, clean ingredient meal in as little as 15 minutes, no matter how much experience you have in the kitchen. And trust me, I am not so much of a cook as Scotty. And I did it. I felt like a really good mother and wife. I felt good about myself. Each week, Sunbasket offers a wide range of meals to choose from. So you can try mouthwatering dishes like Holstein steak, strip lettuce cups with pickled daikon and carrots, roasted salmon with miso glazed eggplant, black bean tostadas Diablo with cabbage, slaw, and guacamole. And you can order from any meals across their menu. You can skip a week whenever, when you need to, or you can even double up on your favorites. It's simple, easy. There's no gotchas. There's no fine print. It's just very clean and easy, like their food and their meals. So right now, here we go. Big deal. Big savings. Sunbasket is offering $35 off your order when you go right now to sunbasket.com/KYA and then enter the promo code KYA at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/KYA, promo code KYA. $35 off your order. I'm going to put that in the show notes too and on my story, sunbasket.com/KYA, promo code KYA. I enjoyed it, and $35 off makes it very, even more affordable just to give it a shot.
Oh, definitely.
We've been cooking more, so it's nice to change it up.
Well, and I'll tell you, because we've been watching that show Alone, and they always are out fishing. And I've been starving for some salmon or something. So I'm really excited about that meal.
Yeah, we're going to have salmon tacos next.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm excited about the salmon tacos. We'll let you know how it goes. All right, talking about purple bombs. What is a purple bomb? Every aura color has their I had it moment. And I've named them throughout the years. So indigos, for example, do the door slam, or what my Mystic Michaela spiritual group has renamed the Indighost. It's like indigo and ghost, the Indighost. I thought that was clever. Blues do the same thing. It just takes them longer, and they may not get there, but indigos always get there. But blues do the same thing. They'll just door slam the situation. Reds do the red rant. You won't have to wonder what they're feeling about you for too long. They'll rant you right out the door. And yellows, this was fun. I asked the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family Group, what do yellows do? Because yellows have this thing where they'll all of a sudden look at their life out of nowhere, because they're really good at going with things and putting up with stuff and whatnot. But yellows out of nowhere will totally freak out. And I was like, what do I call that? Sometimes I'll call it the come to Jesus moment for yellows, or the 180. But I asked the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family to give me their thoughts of what yellows should be called. And these are some of the ones that. So I got a yellow level up, which was cute, but I got the yellow switch off. I thought that was cute. But my favorite one was the yell no. And Meg Boss came up with this. She calls it the yell no. And we shake our list or point to what obviously has been messed up in our plan or organized life. And then we stomp off with our bags. And I thought that is so flippin' yellow. The yell no. Somebody else came up with the yell nope. Somebody said that they've decided to refer it in their own life as yellow blasting. And it's just really funny. So I like the yell no or the yell nope. At one point, yellows wake up one day and it's just yell no, we're not doing this anymore. We've had it. And they'll tell you too, and they'll move on. So that's what yellows do. Greens, they kind of turn off their I give a crap switch, because they have one. It's kind of like their I don't give a fudge button can be turned on and off, and it's real simple. They'll just press it and then they're done. They don't care anymore. But purples do the purple bomb. And I've talked about this here and there. And I want to talk about it again because this episode is kind of devoted to the purple bomb. And it's messy. And it possibly could be the messiest of all the I had it moments of all the aura colors. Simply because, that's how we purples do. And purples tend to do their I had it moments with flair. Purples need to deconstruct and reconstruct their lives often. That's their soul need for if you have a purple aura, which can make purples the target of a lot of opinions. And those opinions are something which can stop the purple from doing what they need to do or saying what they need to say in order to live life most authentically. They can't say to themselves or others that they need to leave a relationship or quit a job or move across the country or have that conversation with a family member that needs to happen. So instead, they'll lie to themselves or push away truth or distract from it altogether. They avoid the opinions of others by staying low and under the radar, by fitting in, by dimming their light, by being unseen. But that only lasts so long if you're purple. You can't keep that energy down forever. And over time, something happens. And there's this buildup of energy. And what the soul wants will push the purple to get sneaky on themselves. And they'll start little ways in their self-sabotaging. And they'll self-sabotage their entire lives under their own noses. So while a purple lives life A, they start putting energy all subconsciously and sneakily towards life B. So they will go to the job they hate. All right, they'll go. They're the good employee. They get everything done. But then they start to gossip at the water cooler about the boss. And then they start gossiping to more people than they can count, one by one. And then one day, oops, the mass email goes out with the gossip that was meant for one person to everybody. Did they mean to do it? Not consciously, but subconsciously, you better believe they meant to do it. And that's a purple bomb. They go big or go home. That's what purples do. Yeah, or another purple bomb, like generalization, and I see this a lot. A purple will start, they're in a relationship they don't want to be in, but there's no good enough reason to leave it according to the people around them. And they have that programmed in their heads that their own emotional happiness isn't worth sticking up for your own feelings. So they'll start picking up the phone and texting back the ex while their current boyfriend is still in the picture. And I'm just going to meet that guy for coffee. And then, I'm just going to do this other thing and this other thing with this guy. And one day, the boyfriend finds the texts, finds the evidence, and it blows up in everyone's face. Did they mean to do that? Again, not consciously, but in a way, yeah. If purples really look into themselves when they're doing these things, they would say that the first time they did something that was against what they were trying to do to fit in, they would see what they wanted. They would see that they wanted out, or what they wanted something different, but they felt they couldn't get it. So the purples will play the role expected of them while at the same time sneakily starting to plant bombs. And these bombs will go off at some point. And when a bomb goes off in a purple's life, that's it. It's all in shambles. And yes, that's what you want when you're a purple. Subconsciously, you want to change. Purples need change. They need to understand it's okay to acknowledge feelings, to speak up on behalf of your own feelings, to act upon your own feelings, that they don't need to answer the why to anyone who doesn't take emotional well-being as a valid enough reason for life change. But until the purple gets here, the purple bombs will flow. So I try to do this a lot in my readings. I try to be like, hey, just be honest with yourself. You don't like this. And if you don't pay attention to it, other things are going to happen because you want change. If you're purple, here's the thing. You've had a purple bomb. It's a thing. I've done it myself. They're always embarrassing. They're not fun. They're not fun to talk about, but man, they're super fun to listen to. We all see celebrities do it, like I talked about with Megan Fox, and then all of a sudden they get attacked and they get judged and they get shamed all over the place for their purple bomb. When I see a purple bomb on a celebrity or on anyone, I wonder first, when did they start this? Where did it really start? Because it's not the bomb that's the issue. It's the first time they didn't listen to their heart and the first time they didn't do something the way it can be done, which is less dramatic, like speaking up for yourself or little things like that. Because with the purple bomb, there is an element of self-destruction, self-harm. And this is important. This is really what's behind it. This is really why you have to watch when you're doing this. There is an element here of, if I get this change I want so desperately, I'm not allowed to have it without ridicule, shame, and isolation or embarrassment. That there's this need for change to be accompanied with a punishment for change. You have to see, maybe the purple bombs were about possibly you didn't feel worth the change if you didn't get belittled and harassed and abused for it. How dare you want something different? In your mind might have been playing over and over again. And therefore, you created also subconsciously a situation where you're punished for getting something that's really about your emotional well-being. And the thing is, the bomb always, in a way, is a direct reflection of how the person feels about themselves within. The worse the bomb is, you better believe that the way that purple feels about themselves is a hell of a lot more intense than what you see in the shambles around them. Purple shaming's a thing. I've talked about this too. In our culture, and I see this so many times. I see it so many times in readings. It's like somebody who's purple gets shamed for it their whole life. They're a little purple kid. They go sing. They go do this. They go do that. They're in their own world. They're happy. Why don't you think about other people? Why is it always about you? You have attention-seeking behavior. They get told these things over and over and over again, to the point where they're like, oh, I'm a terrible person. This is the subconscious agreement. I'm a terrible person if I do something that's in my own interest. So I better not, otherwise I won't be lovable. And that's where it comes from, this need to push down things that you actually want and you actually need in favor of things that other people find more acceptable. But at the end of the day, if you don't listen to it, you can't calm that purple energy. It will bomb out on you when you're done. So how do we avoid purple bombs if we are purple? Well, we have to speak up to ourselves first. We see where we are not so happy on the teeny tiniest of levels, and we have to make changes there. It's practice. We speak to our partners, for example, about how we want communication to happen. You know, saying to your partner that you're with, you know, I need more date nights, or I want to have a conversation with you tonight and I just want you to listen to me. I feel like we need to connect. Like things like, let's speak up for ourselves. If you're feeling a disconnect, let's make the reconnect. Let's put energy there. It's important to do that. We speak to our bosses if we don't like how we're treated. Let's just be open and honest about how we feel in the workplace or with a person or something like that. We acknowledge a feeling and we take action on that feeling. So acknowledge the feeling, accompany it with action on the feeling. We support and give love to our emotional well-being. Otherwise, it will end up building, and eventually the purple will take care of it on its own. And that's freaking messy. But fun to listen to. And that's what we're going to do next with our Mystic Michaela spiritual family member who's going to come in and talk about her purple bomb. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, so that was very interesting. So I have a question.
Okay.
So the red rant.
Yes.
All right. So because I'm not purple.
No.
Right. So I don't kind of do those things that you were talking about.
Right.
And
well, you wouldn't let it go that far.
Right. And usually when I think of my red rant, it's like when I'm just like the other day I was yelling at the TV. I was watching that
oh my God.
horrible human being, not even a human being, Jeffrey Epstein story.
Epstein, yeah.
And you came in, and I was like screaming at the TV, and like, no one would ever do you, you dirty old man.
You're
blah,
like,
blah,
no
blah.
one under the age of 99 would have sex with you.
Yeah.
And like nobody was there. You were just screaming.
Just screaming. So that's not the, but then after I heard your speech, I'm like, well, that's not really the red rant. That's not really what you're talking about.
Right.
So I thought back to the days of my teaching.
Yes.
And I thought of a time where I actually did have a red rant.
Where were you?
Okay, so I had been teaching for about 5 years.
Yeah. And
I moved from teaching down in the New York City area to Buffalo, New York. And I got a job at Holland Schools.
Yes.
In south of Buffalo.
Yes.
Okay. So part of the thing when I got the job was, even though I had 5 years experience at the time, they wanted me to take the new teacher training program.
Right.
And you know me, look, I've been teaching 5 years. As a red, I was really cocky. I thought I knew everything, and there was no way I ever needed to do the new teaching program.
So we should just back up. If you're not in teaching,
right.
In New York State, it's probably other places too, but you have to do 3 years of probational teaching before you get tenure.
Right.
Which basically means it's pretty much impossible to fire you.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a big deal to get tenure.
Right. So you have to get tenure. And I, but I asked them, I was bold enough to say, hey, do I really need to do the new teaching program? I've been teaching for 5 years. And they said, yeah, you got to do it, whatever.
Yeah, they treat you like you're a newbie.
Right. So I was in there with a group of like 5 or 6 other people, and we were all starting out. I don't know if they were all new teachers, but probably like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, I remember you were real freaking miserable about this.
Right.
Yeah.
I was. So anyway, we meet once a week. I try to skip as many meetings as I possibly could. But one of the things that we had to do was create a portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you want to explain what a portfolio is?
Well, I had to do this too. And the big thing is when you're a new teacher, you have to create like this 3-ring binder portfolio. And man, I'm not crafty. So this was like a yellows world. Right. So like I don't know. Like, but people they scrapbook it. It is like the best portfolio you've ever seen. Like everything has like a little, cutout frame and pop-up stickers. And like you put in all your teaching achievements and photos and things that you've made and pictures of the kids. And it's like seriously the biggest book it takes forever to make it. It's so thick.
Right. So it's
a big deal. And everybody talks it up.
Yeah. So every week we'd have to share what we did for the portfolio at the end of the session. And every week I say, I'm not doing it. So I go in there, I'm just like, I'm not doing it. And they'd be like, come on, no, what do you have? Did you do anything for it? I'm like, no, I didn't do anything for it. Like, they had, like you said, their little ribbons and their stickers and great job. Yay, kids. Hey, yay, rah, rah, rah. But I didn't do it. And this went on this was basically almost 3 years. Like I would never share. They'd always share their stuff.
And they hated you.
Yeah. And they're like, well, you have to turn one in. They're not going to give you tenure if you don't turn one in. So I'm like, all right, they might be right about that. Fine, I'll have to turn one in. I didn't do it.
No, who did it, Scott?
Well, you did it.
Yes, I did the whole portfolio
you did the whole thing.
for you. I made it for you. Well, I was teaching full-time too. I made but you and the French teacher who ran it.
Oh, yes.
You were like mortal enemies.
We were.
It's like the food fights with a French teacher.
There was like a few of them. There was like
for
Sarah
3 years.
and Kara. and
Tara.
Karen. There was definitely a couple Karens.
A couple Karens, I'm sure.
And they all hated me. They like
hated you.
Like disgust is not the word. Like they'd see me coming in the hallway. They would they hated my guts.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so let's fast forward to it was the final session that we had, and we all had to present our portfolios to the group. And I came with my portfolio. Now, you did a great job, honey.
Thanks.
You really did. But it didn't have all the ribbons and the bows and stickers.
I was working. I was doing mine and yours at the same time.
Correct.
You got the basics.
So they, the first thing, they're like, wait, you did one? You said all these times that you were never going to do it. You told us every day you're not doing this. So I said, yeah, I didn't do it. And they said, well, how do you have this? I said, well, my wife did it.
Oh, pitchforks.
Oh, my God. Pitchforks. Their eyes were like, we're going to kill this guy.
They hate you. They made because I did it.
So I presented it. I just went through the page this is when I, did a lesson on the American Revolution.
Megan says this is when I do this.
Right.
And I just threw stuff in there too. Like if you made anything yourself that was somewhat novel, it got the plastic page covering folder thing, and just I'm sticking that in there. Like any map you photocopied.
Whatever. So anyway,
it's not good.
So I sent it in. They gave it, I guess, the superintendent, the principal. I don't know who looked at it.
Yeah,
whatever.
Apparently people make it like they. Right. I don't know who's looking at. Who can even carry these? Because they each weigh like 25 pounds.
Well, mine was like 2 pounds, but everyone else's was 25 pounds.
I did good.
You did good, honey. You did really good. Well, here's the thing. I got tenure.
Okay,
so I did get tenure. I think I was doing a good job as a teacher. Never had any parent complaints about me, right? Doing my job. Mm-hmm. Anyway, at the end of the year, about a week to go left in the school year, I get a letter from the superintendent about the portfolio.
Yeah.
Saying that you got tenure and that we loved your portfolio. It was the best, blah, blah, blah. It was great. Fantastic. Now, here's the one catch to that. And this is where the red rant came. On the top of the letter, it said, Dear Kara.
It wasn't even addressed to you.
It was not. It did not say Dear Scott. It did not say Dear Mr. Firester. It said Dear Kara.
They didn't even look at it or care.
Exactly. So, put two and two together. Basically, they had a form letter, and then they just put all our names on top of it. Except for mine, they forgot to change the name.
Right.
Okay.
It was like spirit telling you.
This was my red rant.
You're right.
Revenge.
It doesn't freaking matter, dude.
I went to and everyone knew I wasn't doing the program and everything.
And here's the red rant. It came.
I went to every single teacher that would actually stand me to talk to me. And I told them, look at this letter. See? I was right. I was freaking right. You guys are all a bunch of you-know-whats. And I went to that Spanish teacher, that French teacher. Yeah, all of them. And I held up the letter, and their faces were like, and they spent all the time with their little stickers
you wasted your life.
And their rainbows and their lollipops.
And Megan wasted her life.
Listening to their Katie Musgrave songs. And who was right in the end?
You, Scott.
Me. I knew that you did not have to do that to get tenure.
And you red ranted.
I red ranted.
And however many years later, it continues.
Right.
My favorite little, caveat to that story is, just to maybe throw salt more in their wounds, if you Google Scott Firester, Teacher of the Week, who got it? You got freaking Teacher of the Week.
I did.
Because you made the news.
Yes. They came in my classroom.
You made the news and you were Teacher of the Week. Yeah. And you were on the local news and that you came into the classroom and everyone's like, he's the best teacher ever. And you were Mr. Firester, Teacher of the freaking Week.
Yeah, that's right. Channel 4 News in Buffalo.
Yeah. If you Google it, you might find it still.
Oh, my God.
It was great. And it was and you got Teacher of the Week.
Yeah, they hated it. They really hated me. And then when I went that red rant, they just forget it.
But the year you left, they dedicated the yearbook to you, too.
They did.
So the hate continued, and they're probably really happy you're gone now.
All right. Well, anyway, I think we should bring in our MSF member.
MMSF member.
Amanda.
Yes.
She decided that she is going to use
a brave girl.
Her real name.
Yes.
I tried to convince her not to.
She did not.
I don't care. I'll say
but
it
she
all.
doesn't care. Now, Amanda was really she was a good sport because she did take my COVID test.
Yes.
When she entered the building, because we are trying to social distance here, and she was okay with the thermometer that we used. Right,
Yeah.
Amanda?
It was okay. I survived it. I knew what I had to do to get things done.
Okay,
And I just do it. That's who I am.
Okay.
That's who Amanda is.
When you listen to the podcast back, you might regret saying that.
Oh, no.
Okay. So So I want to first establish that you're of sound body and mind
Because
before this interview.
It's very brave to tell a purple bomb story.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
And we want to make sure that
stable.
she's with it.
Yeah.
Right. She has all her cognitive abilities. Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just going to ask you these questions, and you answer however you see fit.
Okay.
Number one, would you ever attend a Taylor Swift concert?
Yes, I would. I absolutely would. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
She's very happy and bubbly, and their music's good.
Okay. Well, we have a few more questions.
Okay.
All right. Can you remember these 5 words? Crystal, Amish, aura, empath, and starseed.
Yes, I can.
Okay, try it.
Crystal, aura, Amish, starseed, and empath. Empath.
You kind of pass it. All right. Have you ever seen the movie Die Hard?
Yes, I have.
Do you think it's a Christmas movie?
No. But you do. I think I recall something about this.
Okay. And the last question we have for you. Have you ever seen Willy Wonka?
In person?
No, the movie.
Well, that's a trick question. No, yes, I have seen the movie.
Do you think Gene Wilder or Johnny Depp made a better Willy Wonka?
By far, Gene Wilder.
Oh, my. Okay.
All right.
You're good.
That's because I'm from New York, and my mom loved Gene Wilder.
All right.
His blue eyes were just amazing.
Thank God she answered that 4th one that way, because otherwise
good.
the interview would have had to stop.
All right, she's good.
All right.
Well, Amanda, she's a purple indigo, so you know about purple bombs.
Oh, I know them really well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're here to talk about your gritty purple bomb story. Because, like I said, if you're purple, you've had them. I've had them. Like anybody's purple's had them, and it's really about one thing. It's about when we ignored ourselves. So I don't know. Where do we start your story?
Whew, it's such a long one.
Right.
I mean,
Let's start at the beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah. So you get married.
Okay, I get married.
Get married to
I
a
get
man?
married to a man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just,
And I, was the right age, and school was done. We both got our master's degrees. Everything was just, going in the correct order,
Right.
if that's how you want to say it in my family. And I dated him all through college. So it was the next step was to get married. And I knew there were some things that were not right.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lack of chemistry.
Okay.
And I was prompted, Amanda, but he's a good man. He's a good man.
Sure.
You've been with him all 5 years,
It makes
4 years
sense,
at the time. Yeah, this is, the chemistry doesn't matter. Everything else is there. You'll be fine.
So meaning you needed a few extra red jasper crystals? Is that what we're saying?
Possibly. Yeah.
Not
in my bra. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So too much blue tiger eye.
Right.
Was
Well,
going-
it wasn't. It was good on paper, but not in your heart. Or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I knew something wasn't there, and I just kept hoping it would all just fall into place once we got married.
Okay. Yeah.
He
And
was a
then
good guy.
He's a good guy, and he was a good guy. You know, and so you're with him, and does it get better?
No, it does not get
Yeah.
better. We're 5 years into the marriage, and I'm just not. It just didn't. I loved him, but the
Yeah.
chemistry was lacking.
What was
Absolutely
it
in
like
the
to
bedroom.
live that way? Just to how good are you at pushing your thoughts aside?
I guess not good enough, because I can definitely say that I was very aware of how often we had action in the bedroom.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
It wasn't very often, and I would be looking at the calendar oh no, I better do it because it's been 2 weeks. It was like that where I
Yeah.
had to.
Okay.
It was a duty for
Yeah.
me. For me.
For him too?
No, he wanted it much more, but I would just
okay.
kind of be like, I'm tired, or
Right.
I don't feel well tonight, or I have a headache.
No, you had. Did you have kids at this time or no?
Not yet. No.
Oh, so there's no even kids in the
Not
picture.
even kids at the time. No.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's
I mean, if you had some kids,
Oh, absolutely.
understand that.
Trust me, the kids did come, and then I did use that.
right?
But at the time, no, that was not even an option for an excuse.
Sure.
Okay.
And how I guess this is what I get curious about, just from your energy or whatever. So you're such an authentic person. You're so I just know you. Like, you're very like, here I am. Like, this is how I feel. Like, were you able to talk to him like that? Were you able to be like, hey, I feel like we need more, or I feel like this or that, or?
No, actually, because it was such a touchy subject, and he picked up on it for sure.
Yeah.
And it would come up every so often, and it would turn into a big fight.
Okay.
About, like, we're not intimate enough, and
Right.
this is, this is not what I thought marriage was going to be like. He would tell me, and then I would try so hard to, like, and you're right. I am very authentic. So being that way and trying to play a role that I really wasn't was extremely difficult and uncomfortable for me.
Did it produce like a lot of like how are you feeling?
Anxious.
Yeah.
Extremely anxious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like all the time. Was it hard to have like even just, I guess, like moments with him that weren't like, I guess, chemistry related, like going out to dinner or going to the movies? Was there a friendship? Like, was there anything?
A tremendous friendship. My best friend.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's nice.
The friendship was there. And that's why I went through with getting married in the first place.
Right.
He was my best friend.
So it's easy to like lean on that and ignore the other things.
Yeah, it was always there, though.
Yeah.
It was always that underlying, we used to call it the pebble in our shoe.
I like that.
Yeah, the pebble in our shoe.
Okay. So you so you deal with this, you're living like this for how many years would you say?
5 years in.
Okay.
Before I decided to purple bomb the whole thing.
Okay. So the purple bomb.
So you were
right.
dating for a while.
We dated we dated for 5 years before we got married.
So, okay.
We were married for 5 years
Okay.
before I started to get just a desire for some type of intimacy in my life.
Yeah, like passion.
So
Yes.
10 years in,
10 years
here comes
in.
the purple bomb.
Okay. That's a long time.
What's
Well, I'm going to throw another one in.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys realize this.
Oh, no, this is
In
good.
the- in the story.
I bring surprises
Yeah,
everywhere
look
I
at
go.
Amanda brought it.
Yeah. My
Well,
surprise for you and all the listeners is that I waited until marriage to have sex.
So you didn't have sex with him the whole time you were dating?
The whole 5 years we dated.
And he didn't argue that or anything?
Nope.
Are you guys particularly religious or?
Yeah, at the time I was, and,
Okay.
and he wouldn't have done it, trust me, if he had not, if I wasn't the one saying we should, this is the right thing to do. He knew it was. He's a pastor's son.
Okay.
But yeah, this was a thing I wanted to do. I had already been active before, but
Yeah.
this was a decision I made before I even met him, that I'm going to wait
before
for
you
marriage.
met him,
Yes,
you made
2
this.
years before
Okay.
I met him. And
Okay.
so here I am thinking, okay, the passion's not there, but once we're intimate, it's going to be there.
Okay, so
Right.
wait, let me get a little Howard Stern here.
Oh,
Okay, because she kind of went that way.
Oh, God.
I did. I went
Okay.
stern.
So for the listeners, and we do have some guy listeners, Jumanji. Okay, that'll help out things. Okay, so
Good call.
it's the wedding night.
Oh.
You've never had done it. Had he done it?
Before meeting me, yes.
Okay, so he was not a virgin, but you
both of
were.
us were not. No, I was not.
No, she wasn't.
It
you
was.
weren't.
It was a decision I made before I met him.
She
Oh,
just,
no, but you were going into the wedding night.
No, she wasn't a virgin. 2 years before she met him,
Oh.
she's like,
I
I'm not going to have
decided to-
sex until I'm married.
Yeah,
Yeah, with him.
I was like a
Yeah,
born
with
again
anybody.
virgin.
She
Born
born again
again.
virgin. She
I
just
know.
recommitted herself to a different
okay.
standard.
Okay, I got to take that cognitive test myself.
Yes.
All right. So
Scott
it's-
doesn't understand.
So now I get. Now I
Okay, you get it?
Okay, stern me.
So now, all right. So you're now going to the
wedding night.
wedding night.
Oh,
You're in the hotel.
Oh,
You're going to the bedroom.
Oh.
You have your Victoria's Secret on.
I did actually have a very secret.
Okay.
You know
he's
the
all
Indigos, yeah.
cleaned up, whatever, down there. He's done his thing.
Oh my gosh.
I told you I was going Howard
Well,
Stern.
yeah,
here.
he's in the shower.
This is my dream to actually do like a
I
Howard
lit the
Stern type interview.
candles.
You don't
He's
know
in
that.
the shower. Gotcha.
You lit the candles in the shower.
It's like a
you're,
whole moment.
You're like on the bed, like getting your spot ready.
Yes.
Where to put your leg, all those things. It's my Howard Stern moment, Megan.
Okay.
Mystic Michaela.
I'm letting you have it.
Okay, thank you. And then he comes out of the shower and.
I passed out.
Oh my God!
I drank so much at my wedding.
Okay. So right there we do.
Did not happen.
All right. Well, even you had fun at the wedding.
Okay.
I had so much
So
fun.
that's good.
But this is an omen here.
It's
This
a
is-
metaphor.
it's a metaphor,
suppose.
yeah.
But
Oh
like
my
that-
God, it
but
is.
I would even say there's a lot of build up the night. Like there would be a lot of build up anyway.
Did it happen the next day?
The morning after?
No, because then we stayed in my mom's house.
See, this is like you were guys. Do you feel like you were subconsciously
okay.
avoiding it?
I don't know. It was just hard. It happened finally a few nights later on our honeymoon
In Helen, Georgia. I knew that, Helen, Georgia.
Where the town floozy was
Right.
splashing herself years
Yeah, that was
later.
me.
Right.
That's me.
Oh my! This is this is
Full
a
circle,
fascinating.
guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
full circle.
All right. So in Helen, Georgia, in a Bavarian motel.
No.
It's like-
In a farmhouse.
In a farmhouse.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
It finally happened.
And not good? Not good.
Not so good.
Not so good.
No.
Bad time.
It just wasn't what I expected.
Just wasn't good.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But he liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, but yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't. I was like, oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like, oh, that's not
all right, so now let's fast forward back to those 10 years.
Okay.
10 years later.
So now we're 5 years
time.
into the marriage.
5 years into
It's
the
not,
now
it
the
hasn't
purple
gotten
bomb
any
comes.
better. It's been lots of opportunity. It didn't get better.
Right.
Did not get better.
And the purple bomb.
And then I
Was.
started to talk to someone from my past online.
Okay. That's a purple bomb. And that's very brave of you.
Yes.
I just want to say to come on and talk. And a lot of people have gone through this. And I feel like that's the point. Like, we're going to hit the people who are in that moment. So we can be
Yes.
like,
Okay.
just look at what you're doing.
Were
Like
you-
that. Just pay attention.
Were you
Yeah.
using an AOL email address?
Oh, how old was this?
Oh, okay. So
I still use one, by
Guys,
the way.
this is 2008-ish.
Okay. That could be AOL,
So-
maybe.
I still use mine. So.
I do too.
2008. It was not. MySpace was around.
Oh,
MySpace. Oh, yeah. That was like,
But I
yes.
think we were talking on. Was Facebook around? that?
like Facebook
Feels
was, but it was like the
Facebook-ish.
genesis of Facebook.
Yeah, I think
starting.
we were Facebook,
Yeah.
MySpace-ing.
Okay.
Somewhere in between those
Okay.
two.
All right, so this guy who we're going to call
Let's call him Steve.
Steve. Okay, we're
Oh,
going to call him
oh,
Steve.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was your AOL.
That was my
you just had a
AOL name.
psychic moment.
Oh, geez.
That was how I met Scott. His name was Steve, like at AOL.com or something.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Isn't that
Why were
weird?
you creeping
This is
around with a
getting
different name?
Weird. Wasn't
I'll
that
tell you,
creepy?
Yeah, what's up with
I
that?
yeah, that's a whole
Why
other
were
story.
you Steve?
Who's giving the interview here?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
All right.
Good
So,
question.
Steve.
Steve,
So
yes.
Steve and I knew each other back in school. So
Yeah.
we just reconnected and we're talking and he just, I don't know, there was something there. It was a spark and it was fun and it was fulfilling something that was definitely missing in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I ended up, he didn't even live in the state, but I ended up visiting up there. And, I'm from New York originally. And one thing led to another one evening, lots
Yeah.
of alcohol, and
This is like
something happened.
when Chris Harrison sends the girls to the fantasy suite
It was like a fantasy suite.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it good?
I was drunk. I don't even
Okay.
remember.
Was it in it? Well,
Which makes my purple bomb even suckier because it was not, I was intoxicated and I barely remember my purple bomb.
I feel like purple bombs can somewhat. That would make a sense.
I think with having integrity, you a lot of times don't want to do things that are wrong unless
true.
you intoxicate yourself in order to make it okay or
Absolutely.
to give
Right.
yourself to release those inhibitions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do think I drank more than I should have on purpose.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
purple
Subconsciously.
bomb.
God.
So this was in a windmill with Pilot Pete. No, that was Hannah Brown. Okay. So yeah. So
So what happens
So it
after
happens.
that? So that happens.
It
Now what?
happened and I woke up and was devastated.
Oh, you felt awful.
Because I am not that kind of person. I
Right.
mean, you guys know me. And
Yes,
I
of
am
course.
I'm not like that. And
No.
I was just like, what have I done? And I
Yeah.
was a wreck. And my friends literally had to like hold me up over
Oh,
this.
wow.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I went home and had to pretend that I was sick.
Okay.
Just so that I wouldn't, because I literally, I think, made myself physically ill
Sure.
from the anxiety of it all.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do and called my mom. And mom said, don't say a word. He will kill you and the Steve. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah.
The you're talking about your ex-husband.
My
yeah.
ex-husband would have done. Yeah, it would have been very
would've been
ugly.
bad
He
for
can,
everybody.
yes, he can get very fiery. So I was told. I even went to a church and confessed because I'm originally Catholic.
Yeah.
And the priest even told me, put this in a little box
Oh God.
and put it under your bed and never take it out again.
Right.
So squashed it.
Squash it. It never happened.
And you squashed
Like the
it.
Inquirer.
So
Squashed.
I did.
Like Trump in the Inquirer story. Squashed.
It's like a political.
Okay, fine.
Don't get political. It's guys, by the way, it's really fun to watch them look at each other. when
Oh
they're
my God,
talking.
that's what we do. Scott and I we give each other eyes
Yes, the
during
eyes.
the thing. Like
It's pretty
that's
awesome.
how we talk to each
Yeah.
other.
Oh, I
Like
love
ask
it.
her this. Did you ask her that? Yeah, no, you're gonna ask her. Like, and that's all silent.
Total sign language. But anyway, so yes, I did what I was told.
Yeah.
I put it in a box, shoved it under my bed, and tried to live the next 10 years without
So it
saying
was
a
10
word.
years.
10
Wow.
years, and I was not okay, and it affected my life completely.
So what did you do? Like, how did it? Like, so you had this because the thing is like really what that was you. It was a symptom of you just weren't happy.
Yes, it was a manifestation of what was missing in
Yes.
our marriage, absolutely. And
So,
I didn't see
yeah.
it that way then. I saw it as I'm a bad person. How could I do that?
Yeah.
how could I hurt him like that? Because, he didn't do anything up to that point that I knew of. So
it almost feel like
you, a bad person.
Like to get what you wanted, you had to punish yourself to get it. Does that make sense? Like,
that does make sense.
Like it's almost like you had to put yourself in the fire to get what you want. Like maybe you didn't feel deserving of it, so you had to get it with a side of I'm a horrible human.
Yeah, it came with it. It came with the territory. This is what you did, so now you suffer for it. And I suffered, and I anybody out there that knows when you have guilt about something, you're extra aware of anything happening around you where you think everybody knows.
Wow.
So basically what ended up happening was he got the upper hand.
Okay.
In every situation whatsoever.
Okay, so let's...
Because you would just say, like, you acquiesce all
let's
the
go.
time.
Yeah, but let's go back here now.
Okay.
So you lit the bomb.
The bomb
was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you didn't really kind of like light it because for 10 years you kept it squashed.
Yes. In Megan's words, during one of my readings years ago, she said, I buried the bomb.
Buried the bomb.
I hid it.
But there was like a little ignition.
It was
ready to
buried.
go. Okay. So how does it go off?
It goes off because I then go on for the next 10 years questioning things that he did, not always fully trusting. There were definitely some interesting things that would make you go, raise an eyebrow, like, what's he up to? And I was never able to approach him about it because I was always so scared that then it would be like, because I really thought he knew, by the way.
Oh, you
I
did?
thought he knew and wasn't saying anything.
Oh, wow.
So I lived 10 years of feeling like he knows.
Oh, that's
so
awful.
when I thought he was doing something behind my back, I would back off because I'm like, well, if I say something, then it's going to shine the light on me. So I just have to let this go. So I, whatever. The next 10 years, nothing gets better. And
you have children too. Like
we have children.
You end up having
At this
kiddos.
point, we have 3 children.
Wow.
This is only a year and a half ago, and I felt unloved from the time that third child was born back in 2014. I just felt unloved.
Yeah.
There was another situation that happened. His mother passed away shortly after my daughter was born. So I thought maybe, he's dealing with grief or this or that, and it's just, I'm just feeling unloved. He would literally come home. I would be always, for some reason, at the sink when he would come home at that time of day. And I would be at the sink washing dishes, and he'd come, and everybody would run to him and hug him, the kids. And he would literally just walk in, put his stuff down, and go somewhere else. And I would just be like, wow, like he didn't come over here and like say hi, give me a kiss, grab my butt, do something.
Right.
Anything.
So
I went to therapy for a year. Mm-hmm. And my therapist, at the time, I felt like she was being a little women's Libby or something for me. Like, I don't know. I just felt like she was always not attacking him, but like, that's strange. He did that to you and you're just fine with it? And I would be like, well, and I'd always have an excuse. Or he drinks a lot. Oh, well, he's dealing with the death of his mother. Like I had an excuse for everything.
Yeah.
And she just kept saying, you need to go to therapy. So, I tried to go to counseling with him and it never worked. And finally, after a year of someone telling me, because by the way, I found accidentally a therapist that is totally into everything that we talk about.
Oh, cool.
Your authentic self and finding your own happiness. And she even talks about being, 4D and 5D and 3D and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she said, after a year of being with her and listening to all of this, I finally said, well, my happiness is important. And even though I feel like, okay, I'm destroying my family by asking for a divorce, but I'm not happy and I want to be happy. And I don't want to be 85 and look back on my life and say, oh my God, when I was 40, I had the chance to walk away and I chose to stay. And now I'm 85 and still unhappy. You know what I mean? So I asked for a divorce.
Wow. Okay. How did that go?
Horribly.
What was that day like?
It was horrible. It led up to, basically I kept trying to go to counseling with him. Mm-hmm. And the point of my counseling was I wanted to really hash it out. Like when I was going to go to counseling, it was to let it all out. So I was going to tell him about the one night affair.
He still didn't know about this.
Nope. I was going to tell him in counseling. That was my goal. My goal was to let's if we're going to work on this, then I need to let him know the horrible thing.
Everything's coming out.
Everything was coming out.
Had he been faithful during that time period?
To my knowledge, yes. I was the bad guy.
Okay.
Always the bad guy.
Okay.
Everything always was Amanda did something wrong. It was always me.
Right.
So,
and you were like, okay, I did something wrong because you were still guilty
because I was
about
so guilty. I was like, yup, I'm horrible.
about Steve. Right. Okay.
Horrible Amanda. So I tried so hard to go to counseling with him, and it just never worked out. It was always, his work schedule and the kids. We have 3 kids, I mean, when are you going to go to counseling? No one to watch them.
Yeah.
So anyway, I finally approached him and said, I have been trying to go to counseling. You're not agreeing on it. Anything I present to you is never enough. And he was just like, no, it's my work. And I'm like, okay, well, I just want you to know that I'm not happy. I'm not in love with you anymore. I have felt unloved for the past, at that time, my daughter was, I guess, 4 or 5. And I said, for the past 4 or 5 years, I felt unloved and I don't want to be with you anymore. And I want a divorce. And he's shocked.
Oh,
like
wow.
I floored him.
Right.
I did. And then I said, and the reason I wanted to go to counseling, and then I told him, is because I have things that I need you to know, and I can't hold it in my heart anymore.
Right.
Because I carried this like, oh my gosh,
God.
it's been so heavy and it's weighed me down, and I don't want to die with this secret. The secret has killed me for 10 years, and I finally told him about the one night.
Yes.
With Steve.
In the windmill.
Yes.
Okay.
And he freaked out on me.
Oh my God. Were you scared?
I was scared, but my kids were in the other room.
Okay.
So he had to control himself.
Yeah.
But he was livid, and he called me all sorts of names and told me that I've never changed and I've always been this way, and he should have known. And I'm horrible things. He called me horrible names, and he told me, you may not sleep in this bedroom.
Wow.
You're on the couch, and just all of that. Like, and don't even think about seeing other people during this time. And blah blah blah. Like, I mean, I was like on lockdown basically, and feeling like a piece of crap.
Did you just accept it? You're like, okay, I'll take it. Like,
I took it because I just admitted something horrible that I had done. So
Right.
so I had to take it.
wow, that's heavy. Did you feel better? Or not better?
At the time, no, I did
Okay.
not. Part of it, I do remember saying to a friend, I feel lighter because I finally let go of this secret that I thought I was going to take to my grave.
Yes.
But that the other part of it was the intense guilt, and the way he made me feel about it made me feel extremely heavy. Like, I am a horrible person. I am the reason for this divorce. I am the reason why my children are going to grow up with, in 2 separate homes with their parents. Like, I definitely carried the guilt. For sure. Yeah.
And then what happens?
So we cannot afford to just move out. We don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
So we have to continue to live in the same home and not let the children know yet, because we had a lot of things ahead of us to prepare the house to sell, and how are we going to afford it and all that.
This is stressful.
And we had a trip already planned for Disney.
Oh, God.
So anyway, so we have to go to Disney with the kids. I mean, all while. So we're amicable in front of the children.
Okay.
And even behind doors, like it was, we made it work.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost a testimony to like how numb it was though for so long that you could go into that default mode. Honestly, that, you know what I mean? That it was actually authentic for you two to be like that together. Like, so numb.
That's true.
And maybe, I don't know. That's my thought. Like you love each other, but it's not like what other people would experience in the same situation. Like, it was over.
You're right.
And
on his part, to be able to survive through that and not seem broken at all.
Yeah. How weird is that?
Well, it gets interesting.
Okay.
So we go on a trip, and I'm looking, we're at Disney, and he's charging his phone. He's using my phone charger, and he's sleeping, and I just unplugged his phone and plugged my phone into charge, and something just came over me. And I never knew his password for his phone. That was always a secret. By the way, anybody out there?
Yeah.
If the phone is always in their hand or turned over where you can't see the screen, something is wrong. And it was always like that.
Yeah.
But I happened to know it secretly because he said the password to my son a month before.
Oh.
And I just made a mental note. Don't even know why, but I knew it that night. So I just thought, let me look. And it's through looking through his phone that I realized that he was having an affair with his coworker.
Whoa.
And then I came to know that it was for the past, at that time, 5 years.
Exactly.
5
as
years?
long as you felt unloved.
As long as I felt unloved, it was happening.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that was all confirmed because then I, of course, became private investigator.
But he never, like, when you told about your story with Steve and the windmill, he never mentioned that at the time.
Never.
And he
I
probably
was just a horrible person.
And he was
that
not going to ever mention
Oh,
that.
no. He was going to go down without having said a
Without-
word.
Like
All that.
so like you would have broken up and gotten the divorce, and it's like, and now I'm going to be with the
Yeah, exactly. It would have
yeah.
eventually turned into that.
Like an
probably.
organic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I did a lot of research and found out and found her ex-husband.
Oh.
And because I knew the girl.
Yeah.
And they
Wow.
worked together. I've met her. She sent gifts to my child when she was born
That
and the
is
whole thing. So they were
weird.
together from when I was pregnant with my last daughter.
Oh my! And then she sent a baby
And
gift.
sent a beautiful gift, absolutely.
You're like, actually, it's really nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And a beautiful
Yeah.
card. And
Right.
used to send banana bread during the holidays. And I
That
would
is-
love her banana bread. I liked her a lot. I thought she was a really cool
Wow,
girl.
Isn't that crazy?
This is crazy.
Absolutely. So that was going on all that time.
When did you
And
talk to? When did you confront that?
I waited a couple of days just to get more footage of his. I would videotape his phone when I had a
Yes.
chance, just to get all the footage I could. And I
Yeah.
eventually showed him a picture and said, so this is what you've been doing with your time, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he denied it 100%.
He denied it.
He said, I don't know who that is.
What?
Oh.
But he works with her, and she sends banana bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the picture.
The
picture.
the picture she showed us at Christmas, the
Yeah.
totally naked lady.
Oh
the
my
naked
God.
picture.
Yeah,
It was
I
sent
saw that
while
one.
we were
Yeah,
at
we all
Disney.
saw the naked
Yeah.
picture. Yeah.
So I showed that picture. That's what I showed. It was a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
And I said, so who's this? And
Yeah.
he said, I don't know
Yeah.
who that is. And then I'm like, oh, this isn't the coworker? And he said,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. He looked at me straight in the face and said, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
And I was, of course, feeling like I was going to lose my mind.
Sure.
Because you know something for sure, and you're being told, no, what you're thinking is, you're
Yeah.
crazy. You're crazy. That's not true.
Wow, the rage he had.
So it was never admitted, and it was never discussed.
So it's never.
And they are still together.
Wow.
The coworker.
Yes, they are 6
They're
years
still
in.
still
And my
together?
children know her.
Oh God.
And fondly talk about her.
Does she
That's
still?
great.
Does she still bake you the banana bread?
I don't get the banana bread, but
Oh,
you
that
know
sucks.
what?
Yeah.
I was over there the other day.
Yeah.
And one of my kids opened the refrigerator, and I saw the damn banana bread wrapped up in the cellophane.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
oh, it's the banana bread.
Did you want to do something evil to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
I would have done something bad to it. I
Does
think.
she know that all the members of my family and friends at the Christmas party have seen that naked photo of her?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I will say in my line of work, I see a lot of nude pictures.
Like, I
of
just
people.
took the phone out of her hand.
Yes, I don't remember
And I
this,
went
but now I
around
do.
every person at the party, and I showed the naked photo.
And everyone's like, "Wow,
Yeah.
yeah." But that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know, if
My-
you send one,
The weird part was my friend Chuck wanted to
Chuck's
date
like,
her.
"Can I have her
Oh,
number?"
that's fabulous.
Yeah, he was like, could I go out with her? Because he liked her feet. Chuck's into
Oh,
feet.
he's into feet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh
So,
my God.
Yeah, he was looking at her feet in the picture.
Well, that's a crazy story. But now it has a happy ending because, well,
It
I
does.
mean,
Well, where are we going with this?
I
Mr.
have to
Michaela?
do my happy
Spin on this,
ending.
people.
We're trying to make it
She's
happen.
trying to make a happy
Look,
ending.
I mean,
Well, they gotta spin on
a
it.
purple bomb is a purple bomb.
But it got her out of the
It
situation.
got her out of the situation,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
probably just would have kept his relationship with her and you going forever. Maybe until the kids were old enough that he didn't feel like the bad guy or something. And
You
then
are
you would have
absolutely
been
correct.
screwed. Then you would have been like, what, 50s? And then like, now
And
what?
then there I am.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
all these years are
And then
yours.
right.
Well, here's the thing. My purple bomb, yes, it definitely was a manifestation of what was happening.
Yeah.
But when I look back now, I love that I made the decision to choose my happiness over all the things that I thought, my limiting beliefs of what I thought I had to be in this marriage because of, this and that and this and that and the commitment and the kids. I chose my happiness.
Wow.
And then the coolest part to me is that the universe allowed me to see that it wasn't all my fault and
That's
that
amazing.
it's okay and that I actually made the right choice.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the happy ending for me.
Yeah. I
Is
love
that I got
that.
out of it, but I got to know the truth.
And
Yeah.
I think there's only one last question here.
Yeah.
That we end the interview on
Right.
is this Steve guy. Is it a possibility
Oh, goodness,
that you would ever
no.
find him again?
No, not at all.
Not
I'm not
at
even
all.
interested.
Not interested.
Not
Steve was a
interested.
symptom.
Steve was a symptom. So,
Steve
Steve,
was a
so
symptom.
Steve just had a lucky night, and that's it.
It was a
And that's it.
symptom,
He was-
and that's it. And that was the bomb. Steve was his
Yeah.
purpose was to be the
so
bomb.
basically, I mean, Steve is like kind of a winner here, but he's also kind of like the loser here.
Yeah.
Because he was used a little bit, right?
Well, I don't know because I think he probably had his own thing going on.
Oh,
You know.
Yeah, he has lots of his own things going
Yeah,
on.
I'm
Steve's
sure.
got a lot of things
That's
going
like a whole other episode.
That's
Probably
another.
what's going
So
on with
we
Steve.
have to find Steve.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We
Get
don't
him on
need
the
that.
podcast. Give him the
Get him
cognitive.
on the podcast. That would be amazing.
All right. So the last thing here is: can you remember the 5 words?
Oh my God. You do.
Starseed.
Yes.
They're not going to be in order, though.
Okay, that's fine.
Crystal.
Yep.
Aura.
Yep.
Starseed, crystal, aura. Purple bomb?
Close enough.
Okay. No idea. With Howard Stern.
Scott's
Well,
Scott's fetish.
The good news is we have to. You can no longer do the interview, but you can be president of the United States.
Okay. Thank you.
Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. You're so brave. I'm so inspired by your story, and it means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to the people listening who have these little purple bombs brewing, that maybe they can see them and they can be like, okay, what is this really about? What am I ignoring in myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's happening, then something else is going on for sure.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We
You're
love
welcome.
you.
Love you guys.
And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.